All right, guys. So I have more disturbing climate-related stuff for you. So this is in the Washington Post. They say Sunday was the hottest day ever recorded on Earth, scientists say. The historic day comes on the heels of 13 straight months of unprecedented temperatures and the hottest year scientists have ever seen. Global temperatures hit the highest levels in recorded history on Sunday, according to preliminary data from Europe's top climate monitor. Another worrying sign of how human-caused climate change is pushing the planet into dangerous new territory. The results from the Copernicus Climate Change Service show the planet's average temperature on July 21st was 17.09 degrees Celsius, that's 62.76 degrees Fahrenheit, breaking a record set only last year. The historic day comes on the heels of 13 straight months of unprecedented temperatures and the hottest year scientists have ever seen. Quote, "We are in truly uncharted territory," Copernicus director Carlo Buontempo said in a statement. And as the climate keeps warming, we are bound to see records being broken in future months and years. So here you can see it in chart form. There it is right there. Hottest day in 100,000 years. 100,000. Though Sunday was only slightly warmer than the world's previous hottest day, Copernicus researchers noted it was extraordinarily hotter than anything that came before. Before July 2023, Earth's daily average temperature was 16.8 degrees Celsius, that's 62.24 degrees Fahrenheit, a record set in August 2016. But in the past year, the global has exceeded that old record on 57 days. Jesus. What is truly staggering is how large the difference is between the temperature of the last 13 months and the previous temperature records. Scientists have only been tracking global temperatures for the past few centuries, yet there is good reason to believe that Sunday was the hottest day on Earth since the start of the last ice age, like I said, more than 100,000 years ago. Research from paleoclimate scientists who use tree rings, ice cores, lake sediments, and other ancient materials to understand past environments suggests that recent heat would have been all but impossible over the last stretch of geologic time. Sunday's record-setting heat was felt on nearly every continent. Huge swaths of Asia sweltered amid scorching days and dangerously hot nights. Triple-digit temperatures in the western U.S. fueled out-of-control wildfires. Around much of Antarctica, Copernicus data show temperatures were as high as 12 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. Jesus. According to the National Centers for Environmental Information, 550 places around the planet saw record high daily temperatures in the last 7 days alone. Wow. The unrelenting heat has scientists increasingly convinced that this year could prove even hotter than the last. In analysis published last week, researchers at the climate science nonprofit Berkeley Earth estimated that 2024 has a 92% chance of setting a new annual heat record, just like the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. The average temperature for the year is almost certain to exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius, 2.7 Fahrenheit, above pre-industrial levels, surpassing what scientists say is the threshold for tolerable warming. Surpassing what's tolerable warming. Quote, "It is troubling but not surprising that we are hitting record temperatures this year," Andrew Pershing, vice president for science at the nonprofit Climate Central, wrote in an email. "We continue to add carbon pollution to the atmosphere, so global temperatures will continue to go up." When I was prepping for the show, came across this, and then this morning, world hits record high temperature for second day. Global temperature soared to an unprecedented average of 17.23 degrees Celsius, 63.01 Fahrenheit. So that blows the one we just talked about out of the water. It was 62.7 something. Now it's 63.01, setting a record for the second consecutive day. This surge, driven by long-term climate change and short-term El Nino effect, resulted in deadly heat waves across the U.S., China, and Mexico, where over 100 people died. Scientists warn of more record-setting days ahead, with June 2024 already declared the hottest June on record. So look, the piece of this, which is really important, is that this is both climate change mixed with El Nino. And the concern is, and scientists have been saying this, if we don't get a big drop-off next year, then we're so beyond fucked. Like, it's because every single time the scientists go back and look at this, they say, hey, this is actually worse than what we thought the worst case scenario would be. We're warming way more than we thought we would in a quicker time frame. And so they say, after this El Nino season, in theory, everything should drop back down. Because we've gone up for like a decade. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. But I keep seeing disturbing things, bro. Disturbing things. How long until some regions are flat out uninhabitable? Originally, they thought 2100. Now they're thinking 2050. Some places already passed the extreme wet bulb temperature where humans can survive. They've gone through long stretches where humans can't survive. We've already seen that. So what's going to happen when there's a new migrant crisis and it's climate migrants? What happens when water runs out in certain places, fresh water runs out in certain places, and there's not enough water for the population? What happens when the crops get fucked up because everything's so out of whack in terms of the seasons? I genuinely don't know the answers to these questions, but the thing is, this isn't being treated as serious a problem as it is, right? We're the frog in boiling water. We really are. And nothing's gonna, if we haven't been spurred to do the right thing yet, I don't know what will. Yes, we had a decent climate bill from Biden, but admittedly, that's probably what, fucking 10%, 15% of what we need to do. We need to get the fuck off these fossil fuels, man. We need green technology, renewable technology, and even then, you still got to cross your fingers and hope that the remnants of the carbon dioxide don't make things unlivable before the good changes kick into effect. There's sort of like a long-term process where even if we were to stop today, there's still a lot of warming that's going to happen. So, this is wild, bro. This is wild. It's terrifying to think of the water impacts, the food impacts, the regions that are uninhabitable, the massive changes that are coming. I don't think people are truly prepared for the devastation that lies ahead. Because our politics are so dumbed down and so stupid that it's hard to even fix an immediate problem that can be fixed in the moment. Something like mass shootings, right? You got a dozen kids get gunned down in a classroom, and we struggle to even fix that, even though we know what the solutions are. But this is a more cerebral problem, a more long-term problem, one that requires planning and plotting and intelligence and science. And we're fucking hopeless on that front, right? One of the two major political parties doesn't even fucking believe in climate science. So holy fucking shit, man. Terrifying. And by the way, just final point on this is, we see this all the time, right? In the winter, there'll be a cold week. And people, well, what about global warming, bro? What's so much for that global warming, bro? So much for that global warming, bro. But again, you have to read about these things to actually understand what's going on here. Because one of the side effects of climate change is, that polar vortex they often talk about? There's like a cold mass of air over the Arctic or North Pole. And then because of climate change, there's a destabilization that occurs where that polar vortex kind of kicks off its axis on the North Pole and it comes further south than it normally would. And so that's when you get those super cold temperatures for a brief stretch. But again, that is related to climate change. That is not something that used to happen. You got, oh my God, what do they say? The way the tides work, that's on the brink of collapse. The more you read about it, the more devastating it sounds. And unfortunately, I don't think many people know this. I don't think it's reported well by the media. And, we're just flying blind here, bro. So absolutely terrifying stuff. But yet again, 2 days in a row, hottest days ever recorded in 100,000 years. Think about that. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You want to.